Sorry to interrupt you enjoying my edit here, but it's time we get into actually talking instead of just having a really long edit of my video. Yeah. Hey, my name is Crystal, and I'm a milestone for 1X, as you can see. 1X was the first killer I ever fully maxed out. It was my first choice when it came to who I wanted to play when I first started as killer. In my time playing him, I saw a lot of other 1X players, some new, some not, some bad, some good. However, the ones I seem to always come across, even if they have like decent playtime, is the ones that absolutely suck with him! Like, oh my god, just stop moving, let me hit you, please, just stop! Okay, I might have gotten a little bit off track there, but you get my point. Throughout my time and skill with 1X, I realized that people just seem to forget about 1X because they all want to play Cool Kid or something. And the ones that do use him just usually aren't good with him. To me, people were just missing just how much potential 1X actually has as a killer. A lot of people think he's bad or too hard. However, I honestly think he's the current best killer in the game if you're able to maximize his potential. So that's what I'm going to be talking about in this video. The most misunderstood killer in the entire game, 1X, 1X, 1X1. Enjoy. Now before we get into anything, let's talk about 1X as a whole. 1X is by no means an easy killer at all. Though he may not be John level of difficulty, he is without a doubt the second hardest killer in the game. Let's talk about 1X's moves and stats before we get into what he can actually do. Now first, let's get into 1X's actual stats. 1X has the current slowest move speed of any killer in the entire game. Due to this, 1X is a ranged killer with 4 moves instead of 3 to help make up for his lack of speed. However, he's not incapable of catching people, as his run speed is still technically faster than a survivor given they have no speed boosts. So although he's the slowest, he as well as John have moves that will give him speed and give him ways to keep up. Just don't charge at people, it won't get you anywhere usually. Try to be smart about things. 1X also has some of the slowest M1s in the game. Not as slow as John, but they're relatively slow. However, they inflict glitched and poison upon hitting the person, which messes up their screen and slowly damages them over time. And if you hit someone, your M1 does 20 damage, and the poison will make the damage add up to somewhere in the 30s. However, similar to John, 1X is just generally slower than most killers, meaning you'll have to predict where they go in M1 a lot earlier than most killers. Though his M1s aren't John level slow, they're still slower than Jason and Cool Kid, whose M1s come up basically instantly. Now that we've talked about his overall stats, let's get into his actual abilities, because they are very important. First up is Mass Infection, which is easily the most misunderstood ability in his entire kit. I'm going to play a clip with the sound quickly, and tell me what you notice in the clip. Notice it? Well, in case you didn't, Mass Infection plays a loud-ass rattling sound upon being used, which is actually server-side and the whole lobby can hear you when you use it. Because of this, anytime someone hears it, they are most likely not going to stand still, and then you just wasted your highest damaging move. Let me tell you instead how you should be using Mass Infection. Sure, using it during chase is fine and trying to snipe since they have to keep running to dodge it while you can regen stamina. And if you're good at predicting, then it's just free damage. And I still do advise you do use it every so often to apply pressure and chase, but only when you're in more confined space. If you use it in the open, nobody's going to get hit by it, I promise you. Instead, Mass Infection should be used for punishing, the same way people use Watch Me to Ride to punish on Cool Kid. The difference between punishing with Mass Infection is that it's a lot harder than most punishes, since he has to stand still anytime he uses the move. So you have to be very smart about when to use it. The best character to punish Mass Infection with is easily guessed, since they are slowed after blocking it as a free damage for you, 70 to be exact if you light it up close. To me, you shouldn't rely on Mass Infection, but instead on your other ranged move. Entanglement is easily the move that carries 1X. As I mentioned in my guide video, which you could check out if you want more of a guide, this video is more of a character analysis, so yeah, go watch that video if you want to improve. Anyways, back to talking about Entanglement. When you use Entanglement, 1X will throw his sword at a pretty reasonable speed, and anybody who gets hit by it gets entangled. But yeah, they get stopped in place and have to click these pop-ups to get the effects off of them. On top of that, you gain speed too to make catching up to them way easier. Though note that the speed isn't completely limited for the person that you entangled. Simply use entanglement on someone not paying attention when chasing someone else and boom, you just cut up basically instantly. Congrats! Entanglement against some people can also be changed into mass infection up close, meaning you do a lot of damage. Though against most people this is very unreliable and I don't recommend doing it. Entanglement also has no sound cue and barely has a startup, which is another reason why it is such a good move. You can literally just snipe people across the map who aren't paying attention and they get no time to react. The damage may be low, but hey, this is 1x, this is what you're meant to be doing. Applying pressure to the survivors and slowly chipping away at them one by one, until there's one left. We will get to that later though. Unstable eye is removed to be able to see the survivors. Once used, 1x will tear out his eye, which will make him go blind.
Bruh.
You can also see the survivors now. Weird trade-off, but alright. Unstable eye also gives speed 1 for 7 seconds, meaning you can use it when chased when low on stamina and walk for a bit to regain stamina, then charge back at them and probably catch up instantly with full stamina again. And unlike John's spikes, all you have to do is just hit a button. You don't need to hit anybody with any of your moves or anything. Man, this move sounds great. Surely there's no negatives to it, right? Right. Unstable eye is mainly for seeing people, obviously, but can also be helpful in tool and chase to catch up easier. Though I advise against spamming it constantly and just blinding yourself all the time. Use it when you think it's right. Don't just be spamming it, because you'll probably just miss people if you keep spamming it, because it does still have blindness. So, yeah, try to avoid doing that. Finally, we have Rejuvenate the Button, which is an ability that revives all the survivors you killed as your own personal minion to the buff that they died. They are loyal to you and will chase anybody who's near them until they leave their radius. They are also always visible to you, meaning they can find people for you, making your job a lot easier. They can even speak to you.
Yes. Kill them. Yes. Kill them all. Yes. Kill them all. Kill them. Kill them all. Kill them.
However, not only are they good for finding people, surprise attacking them around corners. No, seriously, this has happened to me like so many times. Why do they love corners?
So goofy.
Cornering survivors and more. However, they have one purpose that us one-eyed enjoyers and love to abuse. A feature that's so good it turns the one-eyed from an average slowpoke with aiming issues to fucking A-Train. Like, holy shit, look at him go! Try to avoid my M1s now, bitch! Sorry, I like to have fun around here. So yeah, killing your minions grants you speed 1 for 10 seconds. Kill another one and you get speed 2, and your timer resets. And god, they better hope you don't get one more. Not only can 1x literally gain speed 3 for double the duration of Elliot's rush hour, but he can constantly hit the rest of his minions and chase with speed to keep it going. Like seriously dude, if you're in an LMS against a good 1x, you're just fucking dead. Now that we've talked about his abilities, let's move on to some other categories. As I mentioned already, 1x is a slow killer and mainly relies on his abilities for damage. He is, as of now, the only range-based killer to me, as Jason and Cool Kid are rushdowns, and John is more about being smart and trapping people into confined spaces. This makes 1x a very unique killer compared to the rest of the cast. And for him being so different is part of why I enjoy him as much as I do. It just feels so nice to predict someone and land a snipe on them and get right in their face and just anyways. Yeah, 1x is the range with slow killer, Forsaken. You're probably wondering, how do I also get good at 1x? And to tell you that, I say to just simply be unpredictable while also predicting your opponent. Say with Mass Infection, you can turn around and snap back last second so they can't see where you're facing. Or you can spin around and have a damn seizure.
Think fast, Chuckle Nuts!
Either works, honestly. All your moves are meant to be prediction tools and reward you for reading your opponent. However, you must first figure out who you're going against. Trust me, anyone with decent playtime is most likely not going to get hit by your moves. If you encounter them, then just try to play mind games with them. Follow them around constantly. Get in their face. Get them nervous when you're actually going to strike. Then suddenly when their guard is down, just hit them with entanglement, and then boom. If I won't see it coming, is it guaranteed? No. But this is part of the learning process, guys. You gotta learn to protect your opponents and learn how they play. Or else you could just be, I mean, you could be lame and spawn your minions and just abuse the speed from them to kill someone you can't catch, but, you know, whatever works, I guess. Though going against people may seem unfair at first if they're good, the more you play against the higher up players, the more you realize just how much value these players hold to your journey of becoming a better 1x player and just a genuinely better player in general. And me, I'm grateful when I get to go against these players every so often, as it only makes me stronger, and you should value them too. After all, playing against good people is probably the best way to improve in the entire game right now, so even if it seems unfair, you know, it's a learning process. That's part of how I got so good. Anyways, let's go on to the last category. So let's have a summary of everything we talked about. That's everything I really have to say about the most misunderstood killer. And he's just hated on for no reason, honestly. Everybody says he's bad from what I've seen, and I just don't understand it. Before you go commenting in my video saying that nobody hates on him, I've seen it a lot and I'm going off my experience. So you don't have to leave those comments, please, and thank you. I'm gonna go to let a kill around play of mine that I recorded recently, so you can take my advice on most of the things I said, but actually in gameplay. Since it's a little bit easier to understand when you just see me play without me interrupting or constantly cutting or being loud. Enjoy the gameplay, and I hope this helped you guys out a little bit. Sure, this was not a guide video, and I apologize for most of my yapping about the abilities and the rest of the video being short, but hey. I just feel like this killer is just really misunderstood by people on what he's actually supposed to be doing. So I wanted to make this video since I'm really good with 1x. He's my best killer, so yeah. And yes, I will be making videos like this on every kill or a survivor, so stay tuned for that. So that's it for this video on 1x1x1x1. Thanks for stopping by. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit the sub and like button for future videos from me, because it really helps me a lot with motivation and other things. I'm sorry for my voice constantly changing during this recording. In case you aren't in my Discord server, well, I'm taking multiple days to upload this video because I'm trying to take a different form of editing to make my videos be higher quality, so let me know if you like this a lot more than my typical videos. As for now, keep slashing away those 2 blades, killing Streletsky players, and this is Crystal out. Goodbye.